IPU in Geneva, Switzerland, where Nigeria's President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, wants Israel to cease its barrage of fire on Gaza. Speaking at the 148th General Assembly of the IPU, which has over 179 countries as members, Akpabio sought the pursuit of dialogue and collective efforts among countries to end the war.
Parliament becomes pivotal to ensure peace, foster unity, mediate disputes, and provide solutions. It is often said that the judiciary is the last hope of the common man, but the Parliament remains the first hope of the common man, because except the Parliament makes the right laws and create the enabling legal environment for peace and justice, the judiciary can neither dispense justice nor peace.
He asked that ego between both parties be set aside while the inter-parliamentary session should ensure peace in Gaza, and that peace is made possible before wrapping up its conversations. In a separate development, one of the senior executives at the under-scrutiny cryptocurrency platform Binance has escaped from custody. The executive, Nadeem Anjarwalla, who is one of the two Binance executives detained over tax evasion in Nigeria, is said to be missing. Reports say he escaped over the weekend from a guest house in Abuja where he's been held alongside his colleague. Anjarwalla is suspected to have departed from Abuja via a Middle East airline on Friday. Recall that the federal government today initiated court action against the popular cryptocurrency platform Binance. In the meantime, the special assistant to the governor for your state, Engineer Seyi Makinde, on communications, Oladayo Gumbawale, has advised Nigerians to allow their representatives concentrate on their primary responsibilities instead of always bombarding them with personal requests. He spoke today when he featured on Adamimogo current affairs program Inside Scoop. Ogumbawale, who was reacting to the best way government can cut costs and save more money, said that people can only hold their leaders accountable when they rely on them less for personal gains. He, however, asked other states to follow the model set by the Oyo State government in saving money and listening more to what people have to say at the grassroots. Corroborating this point, another guest on the program, Reverend Oluseyi Fajemirokun, submitted alongside callers that it was time to make government less attractive at the center. He asked President Bola Tinubu to cut down on his personal trips and be more sensitive to the sufferings of Nigerians. Still on the home front, the Olubadan Advisory Council are set to meet tomorrow to determine who will succeed the late Oba Lekan Balogun. According to the council, the enthronement process will begin with the nomination of the successor, High Chief Owolabi Olakunle. Thereafter, a document bearing the nomination will be sent to the sitting governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, for authorization. Recall that the nomination of a new Olubado is done after 8-day Islamic prayers for the late monarch, which was held on Friday, March 22nd. In Osun State, the main opposition there have raised suspicion about the Cybercrime Action Committee recently set up by the PDP government to stem the tide of fake news in the state. The All Progressives Congress APC described it as a ploy to shut down the activities of opposition parties in Osun. In a statement today, the chairman of APC in the state, Tajuddin Lawal, said such meant that the committee was a stooge meant to plant fear in the minds of patriotic citizens, especially those who query the fault lines of the PDP government. Recall that the PDP governor in Osun State, Ademola Adeleke, had tipped the Cybercrime Committee as one that will sanitize the governance space and rid it completely of rumor mongers. Still up in this bulletin, Kaduna governor clarifies a number of abducted but now released Kuriga school kids. Stay with us.
You're listening to Drive Time News on Adamimogo 105.1 FM, IBADAN.
Thanks for staying with us. For inquiries, breaking news, and more, please call or text our news desk on 070-349-61615. Now to the rest of the news. In Ondo State, some aspirants within the All Progressives Congress APC are now at loggerheads over the careless use of force and power in the state. Two of the main aspirants within the party, the sitting governor, Loki Aiyedatiwa, and the former commissioner for finance, Wale Akinteriwa, have challenged each other over the destruction of personal billboards ahead of the April 15 primary election in the state. While Akinteriwa accused Aiyedatiwa of paying thugs to destroy his billboards, the incumbent absolved himself of any wrongdoing, describing such accusation as false. A media aide to Wale Akinteriwa, Olalikoni, speaks.
So, on the destruction of Wale Akinteriwa's billboard across Ondo State, this is not the first time this is actually going to happen. When the president came visiting some weeks ago, our billboards were destroyed across the state, even beyond, Akure and all of that. Our supporters were also beaten. Some of our supporters were wounded. Some of our supporters were chased away while trying to welcome the president into the state. And this is becoming a reoccurrence because this destruction of billboard is happening for the second time again.
The former has asked the sitting governor to call his unruly supporters to order. In Plateau State, the governor there, Caleb Mutfwang, has charged security agents to man up and go after sponsors of violence in adjoining communities. He spoke in the wake of violent attacks that erupted in some villages housed in Langtang and Mekang local government areas over the weekend. Governor Mutfwang condemned the attacks, which reportedly claimed the lives of some persons and left others with different life-threatening injuries. In a statement today, the governor, through his Commissioner for Information, Musa Shams, said such violent acts undermine government's efforts to stabilize the state, and it would not stand for it. Elsewhere, the Kaduna State government says only 137 students were kidnapped at the LEA school in Kuriga, in Chukun Council area of Kaduna on March 7. The clarification was made by Governor Obasani during a televised program recently against initial claims that 287 students went missing. He commended the military for seeing to the release of the 137 school children from the custody of kidnappers.
Sending a full squad of mobile police that were deployed to Kuriga community last week. As we are speaking, we have a full mobile squad also in Kuriga. I also want to commend him for supporting us to see that we bring back our children who were abducted from.
He, however, condoled with the family of the teacher who was abducted but later died in the captivity of the abductors. Finally, in Bauchi State, some 7 persons have reportedly lost their lives while trying to benefit from a Ramadan Lajis. The figure is an update from the 4 persons earlier reported to have died from a stampede that ensued while people tried to benefit from the cash gifts offered by popular businessmen in the state. Those who sustained various injuries from the stampede are now receiving treatment at the Tafawa Balewa Teaching Hospital. The philanthropic event, which later ended as a nightmare, was said to have attracted a large crowd. And that's Drive Time News on Adamimogo 105.1 FM IBADAN. Before we go, the highlights again. It was in this bulletin that the federal government has filed charges bordering on tax evasion against the popular crypto platform Binance. You heard that the Olubadan Advisory Council will tomorrow meet to determine who succeeds the late Oba Lekan Balogun. And the governor of Kaduna State, Obasani, has said that only 137 school children were kidnapped from the LEA school in Kuriga, in Chukun local government area of the state, as against initial claims that 287 students went missing. Thanks for listening to the Drive Time News, edited and read by Fortune Omosola. Thanks for listening. Good afternoon.
Adamimogo 105.1 FM, the voice of the light. Our voice is your light, shining light to the city of Ibadan. Adamimogo FM 105.1, the voice of the light. Adamimogo FM.